everyone, I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we'll be discussing the trade plan for tomorrow for Nifty and Bank Nifty and a few select stocks which must be on your watch list. Volatility at its peak on the weekly expiry, and right before we dive in, do let me know how was the expiry day for you. Days like today make you realize the importance of risk management so that you don't get into this endless loop of emotions. Yesterday, the global cues and even banking areas tossed on the negative side, which created a lot of panic and fear, but the Indian indices opened on a flat to positive note, after which we witnessed selling pressure followed by recovery towards the end of the day. With that being said, it looks like that the bulls finally marched to the stock exchange to lift Nifty and Bank Nifty up for us to have a positive daily close on the charts after 5 consecutive days of selling. So can we see a follow-through move on the upside, or will the selling continue in the days to come? Will the volatility remain elevated? I'll be answering these questions shortly, so stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. So first of all, I do see the volatility remaining elevated for some time, given that we have important events unfolding like the Fed meet over the next week. Adding to that, we are seeing risk panning out in regional banks in the US and the large banks that are shaking the capital markets. Now let's see what has happened on the daily chart of Nifty 50. Here on the daily chart, though Nifty broke this level of 16,989 yesterday, and today it has marginally closed around the same in the form of a doji candlestick, which is depicting indecision. Now if you wish to see content around candlesticks, do let me know in the comments down below. Now coming back, here we were also referring to this falling channel, and as I mentioned in the last video that it's only a matter of time that it breaks on the downside, which it did on an intraday basis, but the recovery from near the zone of 16,800 is what stands apart. So the structure here is suggesting that there might still be a chance for the index to pull back on the upside, and the first confirmation of that would be to keep today's low protected and break above the high of 17,062, and then we can say that Nifty can at least move towards this level of 17,200, which can be considered as the immediate resistance as well. And I'll also be looking at the nature of this pullback on the upside, which will actually help us to identify whether or not the bearishness is over. Also over here, if you take a look at the RSI, it did not dip into the oversold zone, but it has picked up from this particular zone. And in the past as well, we have seen pullbacks coming in when the RSI has dipped towards this band. So you can look over here, and at this point as well, a bounce back can be estimated, but will not really jump to conclusions and trade according to how the setup is unfolding. Also on the lower side, keep the levels of 16,800 to 16,650 as the marked support levels on your chart, which might be useful in the near term if the index takes a nosedive. Coming to the 15-minute chart, here you can see that Nifty has started to move higher from the day low, and it has created a higher high and higher low sort of a structure. And over here we also have a harmonic pattern which is yet to get triggered. Now if the index moves above this particular point of 17,046, which is also in line with the day high at 17,062, then we can expect the index moving forward towards the levels of 17,170 to 17,200 as we discussed previously. And the invalidation level of this pattern is going to be the level of 16,910. Do remember over here that this particular pattern is not yet triggered and will only come into play if the index breaks above the zone of 17,046 to 17,062, and thereafter we can expect a trajectory towards 17,200 with an invalidation level of 16,910. So here for your reference, I've written down the support and resistance levels for Nifty on the chart. So the support is at 16,848 and 16,650, and the resistance level is placed at 17,200 and 17,325. Now let's move to Bank Nifty. So here on the daily chart of Bank Nifty, you can see a positive daily close in the form of a doji candlestick, which is quite wide from the low of 38,613 towards the high of 39,381, almost 700 points. Now today Bank Nifty has also tested this major breakdown level of 39,400, and it has faced supply pressure from this level itself. Can we say that a pullback might be coming in Bank Nifty? Well, chances are that if Bank Nifty holds on to today's low, which is placed at the levels of 38,613, then we can expect it to test the levels of about 39,600 on the upside as as well. But this range is quite wide in Bank Nifty, so it must surpass today's high as well, which is at 39,381. So here as well in Bank Nifty, I would be looking at the structure of the bounce to identify if we are done or there's still some room left on the downside. Now, if you see the RSI for Bank Nifty, it has tested the 30 mark, did not really drop into the oversold territory on an intraday basis. And in the past as well, you can see that whenever RSI has hit this zone, we have seen a certain bounce in the index. So will that happen here as well? We'll just take this as another clue over here that a pullback might be on the verge of unfolding, but we'll look for more confirmation as we just discussed previously. Now on the 15-minute chart, even Bank Nifty is moving in the form of a higher high and higher low. And if this low stays protected, then we can expect a trajectory on the upside. And if Bank Nifty moves above this pivot of 39,265, then this pattern that I've drawn on my screen will get activated, and we can expect Bank Nifty to test the levels of about 39,635 and 39,735, provided that it holds above this pivot of 39,265 once it has broken above it. Also, the invalidation level for this particular pattern is going to be the level of 38,755. So for your reference here, I've written the support and resistance levels for Bank Nifty. The support levels are pegged at 38,760 and 38,150, whereas the resistance levels are placed at 39,765 and 40,140. Now let's come to stocks, starting with United Spirits. So we discussed about United Spirits in the that I posted on March 14th when it was trading right at the pivot at 762.70. And I had mentioned that till the time it stays above the moving averages, and even if it pulls back, we can still look for low risk entries over here. Now you can see that even after this pullback towards the averages, the stock has bounced and a minimum target of 787 remains open, with the support levels of 758 and 764. So initially we were considering the invalidation level in this stock to be point C at 734, but now one can move the invalidation level towards 755. The second one is Reliance. And here on the daily chart of Reliance, you can see that after it broke down from this pivot at 2313.65, now it is trading close to the reversal level of 2187. So that is going to be the maximum downside that I'm expecting for now. And today Reliance recovered very well from the lows, and here you can see a long lower wick, which means that the bears tried to push the prices to the downside, but the bulls managed to cover it up, and we saw some recovery towards the end of the day. So the bottom line here is that Reliance can be considered as a long opportunity, as the maximum downside, what I'm expecting, is 2187, and a reversal from here can trigger an up move in Reliance towards the levels of 2287 and thereby 2313. So on that note, it's Gurleen signing off. Until we meet again, have a great time.